Hey everyone, and welcome to Mars the Mission. Had a bit of an impromptu live stream. Hope everyone is doing well. So I've been spending quite a bit of time last night and today just doing some off-camera work in between episodes, as I really want to try and get some progress done on this series and speed it up because views aren't great. So I'm going to try and wrap it up not as soon as I can, but sooner rather than later. So yeah, I've just been doing a lot of off-camera work, which has been obviously quite repetitive to do in videos. It's just pretty much the same stuff over and over again, trying to just get some more progress, get some more money so we can do different things and get some more actual progress towards the actual challenge for this particular map. So I am currently now into year 4. I think the end of the last video I finished was in year 3. The next episode I was due to record was going to be harvesting the cotton, which I did harvest. That's been harvested, and I was going to get to the point where the cotton was ready to harvest again, which is still a little bit off. So we've got our sunflowers ready to go. So I've replanted that cotton. So this is going to be the kind of next video. We'll be harvesting this cotton field now. The cotton bales we did actually get off this one I have saved, so I haven't sold them yet. So they're going to be sold in the next video. But yeah, I wanted to try and get these fields back to where they would be, but within like I think an extra 12 months or so progress. So I've got 4 cotton modules off that field. They're waiting to be sold. We've got quite a big stack of honey. I think there's about 2,000 or 3,000 litres of honey in that storage mod now, waiting to be sold as well. So first thing we'll do is grab the combine and get a work started on harvesting that field of sunflowers. So the oats and sorghum, they've been harvested. I think that was both ready to harvest at the last end of the last episode. So those have both been harvested and then replanted. And I think, pretty sure I've harvested them again since then. Well, I can't remember. The corn I've literally just finished harvesting and replanting just before I started. So that's had another harvest since the last video as well. Let's just jump into the combine. Right, let's remember which controls do what. So hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're all having a good week. So there's a bit of a unplanned live stream, as I will be live streaming again this evening on Alone in the World in the multiplayer. So looking forward to that. Should be good fun again, as we did make quite a good start last week. If you didn't see last week's live stream on Alone in the World, we started off with some equipment and all the land, but no fields or farm or anything, and then we I can't remember how many silage bales we actually made in total, but we earned just over 1 million. I think it was probably closer to 1.2 million in total we earned on that map in the last week's live stream. So we'll be getting our first fields ploughed in on there later, so it should be starting at about 7:30 this evening. Hopefully we'll see a few there as well. So I'm going to get the work started on the sunflowers, and then I'll grab the other tractor, or a tractor with the trailer, ready to get this unloaded. I have extended some of these fields out as well, which I'll put some paths in. If any of you have been following this series, I don't know. I know it's not been getting the best views. I did kind of know that was going to be the case. This wasn't going to be an overly popular map. Alright, now I need to remember how to start the harvester on keyboard. Turn on harvester is B. That's the wrong button. Header says it's already down. There we go. Press H to hire a worker. And away that can go. Actually, I need to slow that down a little bit because it's a little bit fast. Go. So if I just put flight mode on, I can... No, that's the wrong one. I don't want to teleport player. Flight mode. So these 3 fields here, I've extended down a little bit more. So you can actually just see that darker patch. Or you might be able to see that darker patch. I don't know how well it'll come out on stream. There's probably that lower section down there. There's a slightly darker patch where I've ploughed out an extension to that, and then put this road in there, and then just marked out that bit of an area. So I can't really extend this one really anymore this way. It's kind of a bit limited, but I think we can do this one on the other end. Yeah, we could probably extend that one out a little bit more towards the cow dome. And then I did the same with these two as well. So the sorghum and cornfield, they've been extended out a little bit as well. And they're probably about as big as we're going to get unless we make them really odd shapes on the edges. The grass field was also extended a little bit. So I've smoothed out the bit of terrain here going towards where the productions are. So I kind of ramped that up a little bit, smoothed it out as best as I can, and then brought the grass field down to here. I think it was originally over here, so it's not a huge extension, but it gives us a little bit more grass. Again, put a little bit of road in across here. I just want to start making the place look a little bit nicer as well. Jimmy Sims in there saying afternoon Sim. I thought I'd pop in and say hi. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Yeah, possibly. I'll need to finish by 4 o'clock. I should be streamed for the next couple of hours at least. But thank you for stopping and saying hello. So I need my tractor with trailer, which I've lost. I think it's over by the silo. So as in terms of crops, we are now currently at 384,928 litres of sorghum, 193,820 litres of corn, and 261,301 litres of oats. We do have a little bit sugar beet, some sunflowers, tiny little bit of canola, and then a little bit of barley. But yeah, I really want to try and get some more progress on these particular crops, because I feel like I'm in that kind of thing with the videos, was it's just going to be the same thing every video until they're pretty much done. We've got some money to buy the sugar beet harvester and then the potato planter and potato harvester. We also need to get a move on getting some of these tree saplings planted. Main reason why I haven't really done many is because they cost money to buy the saplings. The trees aren't going to make us any money, so it's kind of like spending money then just for that part of the challenge and not actually making anything back from it. So I've kind of prioritised spending money on stuff that's going to help work more efficiently or make more money. So with the productions, being able to produce cheese and clothing as well, that we did in the, what was the last video. The workers missed a strip. Worker, you're fired. I'll probably blame me because I wasn't quite far enough over when I set the worker off, to be honest. I was saying when upgrade the combine, it's something I would like to do. It's just need the money to actually do it. And as I think I mentioned in the last video or the one before that, if I upgrade the combine, it's not really going to help other than save a little bit of time. So I'm like, do I spend the money I would be spending on the combine on something that's going to be more beneficial to us, i.e. the sugar beet harvester, potato harvester and stuff like that, which we need more than a new combine at the moment. So as much as I would like to get the new combine, yeah, it's not something I'm planning on doing just yet. It'll depend as well how much money we make from the cotton. We've also got a lot of silage bales over there ready to be sold. The grass will probably be more than likely ready to cut again before the next video is recorded. So I'll probably have another stack of silage bales to be sold. So we should get a good few 100,000, maybe even close to like 800,000 with all the pallets as well. Gorg saying you're live early. Hello Sim Farmer, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. Hope you are too. Hope you're having a great week. Yeah, it's a bit of an impromptu, unplanned stream. So I was just sitting here on my own. I've kind of exhausted everything I've got to watch on TV. Just finished watching season 2 of the Outer Range, or Outer Range I should say, yesterday. And I literally been playing on this map all morning trying to get some progress done. I thought why not just live stream it for a couple of hours. Because I'm nowhere near recording the next video yet. So the plan will be to, once we get the sunflowers harvested or get far enough across, I need to check. Don't think this field will need lime after this harvest. I think we've got one more before this field requires lime again. So we can probably get straight in with the planter to replant it. I think I'm going to do sunflowers again in this one. Although actually I might change, that might do something different, because I don't think sunflowers are yielding quite enough to really get enough to make it worth it. Goes saying, yes, I'm good, thank you. Watching a bit of Young Sheldon. I've never watched it myself, but I do know of it. To be honest, I've watched The Big Bang Theory, but I've never actually properly watched all of it all the way through. So I've only ever saw like episodes here and there. It's one show that I should really go and actually watch from the beginning all the way through, because I did enjoy what I have seen of it, but so I don't really know a huge amount about it. Leave the work to carry on for a little bit. Go and check the animals. I think the sheep, we are complete now with these sheep on that part of the challenge. I think all 3 sheep pens are full. The cows, I think we're up to 18 in each one. Yeah, so 36 of the 136 cows. So we've had some new births recently. They are okay for food. Slurry, got plenty of space still, and yeah, I think the robots all topped up. I have done another cut of grass for hay as well, so we have got some extra hay bales from the grass field. So yeah, we don't need to worry about them. We've still got some silage bales left, and I did top up the straw from the last oat harvest. So they're fine. I think chickens, we've got loads of eggs, or pallets of eggs we need to sell. So they're stacking up quite a lot, quite a few there. So the chickens are complete, they're maxed out, so 720 in total between the 2 pens. I could do with their food being topped up though. One thing you may have noticed as well as I went through the cow shed, I have done a little bit of landscaping in these domes. The way I've done that, I didn't mean to mention in the last video but I forgot, is I've got the map object hider, so I can hide the sphere. Unfortunately you can't do this on console, but then you can go into landscaping mode and you can then fully landscape inside the domes without any problems. Well, I didn't do that very well at all. That's very, very messy. Well, yeah, you can landscape in the dome, place extra buildings in there, do all that fun stuff. Let's give the chickens some grass back. I completely went a bit too big. Sorry chickens, I made you into a concrete jungle. Let's tidy that up a little bit. I'll probably do this a bit more at some point, but just to show you how you can actually do it if you're on PC. And then if you do, is it left shift H, you can bring this menu back up with left shift H on the keyboard and then press restore, and then that puts the dome back. So yeah, nice and easy, sort of. You can, as I think you may have seen in some of the videos, you can just about get the doorway and do some, but you can't do anything properly. But that's the way I've done all the grass in here and painted all the terrain around these buildings. We're using map object hider. I said unfortunately it's not on console, so you're a little bit stuck on console of being able to do anything unless you go around and plough up and plant grass. You're a little bit stuck. But yeah, sheep are all fine now, so we're up to 65 in each one. They've got plenty of bales still. As I said in the video as well, the wool is now automatically sent to the spinnery with the additional pallet storage mod, which is super handy. Pigs, how are we doing on the pigs? So we're up to 39 in this one, and I presume this one will be the same. So what's that, 78 in total, if my maths is right. And they've got plenty of feed still, so we don't need to worry about the pigs for a bit. We're not getting much manure from those. I don't know if we'll actually ever get to a point where we've got enough manure to actually use, because I know it doesn't go particularly far. I was considering actually putting a BGA in, so we could just sell the manure. Then I couldn't remember what the BGA's cost was. I know I've got the pumps and hoses in, I think that's a little bit more expensive. I'm pretty sure the small base game BJ 435,000, which we don't quite have that. Definitely not at the moment. Lethal Farmer saying g'day Sim, g'day to you, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. Jared Grimm saying hey Sim, just want to say I did some binge watching Grizzly Mountain thanks to your post a while ago. A little FS19 flashback, have a great weekend. Well, thank you for that, hope you enjoyed it again. Grizzly Mountain was an awesome series. Well, from my point of view as in playing, I really enjoyed it. I don't know about watching. It was my first proper attempt at doing a forestry map and clearing it to build a farm on. So I was in very much a learning stage for that series. Is this worker going to get back to the end of the field and turn around before he's fought? Or I should say before they are fought, because it could be a lady. Oh, no, he's finished. He's fought. Didn't quite make it back. Oh, that's why I can't reverse. I've got direction control on. Peter does farming. Hey Pete, how are you? You don't have the small BJ from Court Farms. I don't have any mods on here. Well, I do have mods on here, but I don't have any production mods or equipment or vehicle mods. Especially ones I feel that make it far too easy of the challenge. So I was restricting what mods I was using to ones that I don't think could make things easier. So yeah, as in terms of productions, apart from DLCs, I don't have any actual production mods installed. Although the additional pallet storage does come up as a kind of production because it comes up in the production menu. Case 2 tractor, I don't know which Case 2, I've got a Massey Ferguson here. I don't have a Case tractor on here. I've got a New Holland, JCB, Massey and a Fent. I don't normally play with the game sounds on, I can hear bells ringing. I don't think I've ever noticed that before on this map. Right, well, okay, you can carry on. Jump back in here. So 17,690 litres so far. Definitely not the highest yielding crop sunflowers. I'm not sure if we could actually get to 800,000 litres in the silo of sunflowers. Unless we planted every single field with them. So we'll just follow the worker up. I'll let him get probably... I need to actually do that strip on the end or we're going to lose that first. So probably do another row up and down and then get that strip on the end and then get the worker over with the planter, or I'll start planting. Just trying to decide whether to do sunflowers again or something different this time. I would like to do wheat and barley because they are quite high yielding crops, but they do take quite a while to actually grow. Is the one reason why I haven't really been doing them very much. Because even though we don't have season cycles on, crops still take just the same amount of time. It just means we can plant and harvest them whenever we want, so we're not restricted to certain times of the year. But I think wheat and barley both take around 10-11 months to grow. So even though they're quite high yielding, you can't harvest them as often. That may not be a huge issue. Are you getting used to the new wheel? Yeah, I've still got some settings to bind to it. I'm just missing my side panel at the moment when I'm using the wheel. I'm not doing a very good job of keeping it straight either. It's a bit weird getting used to because of how big it is compared to the wheel I normally use. I haven't really used it much in Euro Truck. I really need to get back to Euro Truck now. The 1.5 update's out as well. And get the wheel, like the key bindings, all set up for that as well. But it's good. It's different. Trying to think while I'm just going up here if there was anything else that I've done since the last video, but I don't think there is. I think I've pretty much covered everything now. So if you're watching this back as a off-air stream, I think you've had a good recap at the start of everything I've done since the previous episode was actually published. So the plan is, I don't want to rush to finish this series off, but I would like to get progress moving a bit quicker so it's finished sooner rather than later, so we can move on to something else. Which potentially the next series I'll start may be a series then that runs all the way until the end of FS22 potentially. So if you've got any suggestions on what map you would like to see, let me know in the comments. And there's been so many maps for FS22, it's hard to keep track of what's out, and I'm sure there's probably loads I've missed or overlooked. So definitely I'd pick one that's I need to pick one that's potentially going to be running until November, possibly. The new game maybe coming out. Google, I'm waiting for Truckers MP to support 1.5 updates. I've never played the Truckers MP. I did some online in the convoy thing within Euro Truck. I had a server for a little bit, but never actually done any Truckers MP in Euro Truck. Always, mostly ever played it myself. Google saying Hofbergman or Ellerbach. Hofbergman might be an interesting one. I haven't seen if it's been updated since last time I looked at it, which was actually quite a while ago. Sim, do you use footage from streams like this to make a video? No, I don't usually tend to live stream and record at the same time. I just find it when I'm live streaming, I like not to have the worry about what I'm doing on the stream, is in how well it'll come out on a video when you speed it up. If you're constantly running and jumping between different things, it doesn't make for a great time lapse. So I don't tend to record when I'm live streaming. I'll kind of do it separate. But yeah, Hofbergman would be potentially a good one to do. So it's not a map I've ever actually done myself before, but I've looked at it a few times. Just never actually got around to doing anything on it. I've played Bergman, it's very interesting and nice. I've got a mod scanning with a lift, so it's nice. It sounds interesting, especially with, I imagine there's quite a lot of productions on there now. So a lot of moving stuff around. I can't remember the last time I actually looked at it. It's got to have been, I think, how fast the years go, it's probably been a year since I last downloaded it to look at it, so I don't know if there's been updates to it since then, with more stuff added or not. Not 100% sure. Your first stream, well, welcome along, hope you enjoy it. Farming Trio saying hey Sim, hey to you, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. So I will be live streaming again this evening, but I know time zones and time, it's obviously probably a bit too late for some people, or a bit too early in the morning for other people. I keep saying, I kept saying in the past that I'd do some live streams earlier in the morning or different times of the day, and I never really do that. It's always interesting to see people who can't actually watch live on the other ones. So that's that little strip done. I don't know if it was actually worth it. So 322 litres. That could make all the difference in the end. So we'll get this work set back off, and then I'll go and grab the New Holland with the planter. I don't know, should do sunflowers again, or I'm kind of tempted to put sugar beet in, although actually I don't think sugar beet takes that long to grow. I was thinking by the time I've sold all the cotton, done the next cotton harvest as well, should hopefully have enough for a sugar beet harvester. And then we'd actually have some sugar beets ready for when we can afford to buy that. Right, worker, off you go. Let's have a look. How much is the sugar beet harvester? Expensive. It's one of the most expensive vehicles in game. Where are we? Sugar beets. Oh, it's beet technology, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, beet technology. That's why I can't find it. I'm looking in there. So 499,000 for that one, or 471. So it's going to be around about $500,000 for the actual harvester, and then the header itself, which is it's going to be another 79. Oh, that one doesn't need an additional header. That one comes with the header. So that one's going to be a lot more expensive because you have to buy the header separately. But that one is... what's that one? I can't see. Steering wheel's in the way. Why didn't I show the working width for that one? Or am I completely missing it? Pretty sure it doesn't say the working width, but that probably looks about 4 meters, 4.5 meters. So I think that one's slightly smaller, 45, 30, 43. So I think the Roper will probably be the better one, the Tiger. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. So I think that is, yeah. Oh, that's 4 meters as well. Why did I think that was a little bit bigger? Well, either it's going to probably be about $500,000. So 600,000 for the sugar beet harvester. So yeah, decisions. Let's go and grab the New Holland so we can start replanting. Yeah, it was 6:41 AM for me, so early in the morning. So what's that time difference? Trying to work that out in my head. 7 hours difference, 7 hours behind. So where's that kind of... is that... I don't know what time zone that would be in. Not East Coast, because I think that's 5 hours, is it? Where is my New Holland? I've lost my tractor. Where did I leave it? I think I've got a few things left lying around. There it is over here. Oh, it's already got the planter on as well. Of course, because I use it to plant the corn. Could do with some fuel and also topping up seed. Mountain Time, Montana. Yeah, I was thinking Mountain Time, but I didn't want to say just in case I was wrong. I had a friend who was in Colorado. They was on Mountain Time. The pour behind harvester is 6 meters. Well, I think it's going to be too small for how big the field's going to be. I know it's going to be a lot cheaper, but I don't want to be spending 6-7 hours harvesting one field sugar beets, especially when I'm potentially going to have to harvest it possibly 2 or 3 times to get to the required amount. That's not going to pick up that bag. Is that because it's on the floor? And I don't want to use mods. I know there's modded ones that I've got obviously super duper capacities and wider headers. Well, I said I was trying to do this one with avoiding mods that are a little bit cheaty, in my opinion. Nothing against anybody that uses them. At the end of the day, it's your choice. But this one I wanted to try and do without using stuff like that. Because I found it would just become far too easy if you've got one of those productions that takes one product and makes 50 million different products, and then you've got like 6-7 million fairly easy. Nope. Stop. Why are you unfolding? Oh, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Pressed the wrong button. I'm absolutely useless with keyboard controls. Considering I've been playing on PC since FS17, still don't know all the key bindings. Right, R to fill. Wise to change crop, so do we do sunflowers again? So we've got 65,000 litres of sunflowers currently. We're probably going to get up to 100,000 with this harvest. I'm thinking probably doing corn again actually. Do a second field of corn. I'm stuck on those bags. Now let me know in the chat quickly, should we do sunflowers again or corn? I would say sugar beets, but I think sugar beets grow quite quick, so I think they're going to be ready before, possibly even ready before the cotton is ready to harvest again, which means then I'm going to have a field sat there with cropping that I can't do anything with. So I think corn or sunflowers. Dr. Fish 10 saying corn, thank you. Yeah, I would do sugar beets, but I really think the sugar beets will be ready before that cotton's ready again. And then I'm going to be sat there waiting, because I really need to harvest that cotton again before I can buy the harvester. Whereas I can do corn and sugar beet, sunflowers, and I think, yeah, corn probably would be the better one. Yeah, soybeans would be good for a bit of money, but I think, again, they take quite a while to grow. With the corn, I can use the corn for the pigs if need be. So I think corn wins it. How many hours have you got in FS22? Let me have a quick look. Because I can't remember. It's been a while since I actually checked. I have currently got 3,893.3 hours on FS22. But that's not actually my full total, because when the game first released, I was playing the version from Giants, direct from Giants. And I reckon I've probably got a good few hundred hours on that version before I switched to the Steam version. And obviously there was no way of tracking the hours on that. So I reckon I've got well over 4,000 hours in total on FS22. But I don't know the exact total. Right, let's get this switched on, which is... Oh, X is fold up. V's turn it on, V's lower down. I'm sure those controls are backwards for some things. And I didn't refuel, which I should have done. Oh, hey ho. We'll refuel when we get a bit close to needing to be refueled. Dr. Fish 10, will your hours be off by using both PCs when recording? No, because I generally... If I'm recording on the other PC and playing on, I'm on this PC at the same time. So technically I don't class that as like 2 separate hours to combine. Because I'm going to put the work back on, I need to go and unload the combine. If I'm ever got both PCs running, this one's always running. I never play FS22 on the other one while I'm not being on this one. So technically, yeah, I've got hours on a different version on Steam on a different account. I've not technically been playing that one at a different time, so yeah, I wouldn't combine them. Not after sunflowers, you don't need to plough, only after corn, sugar beets, potatoes. So we can direct drill straight after sunflowers. Gary John saying good morning, am I late? Not too late, but thank you for stopping by. Well, I've got maybe 200, 300 hours on my Xbox and like 3 hours on PC. On Xbox for FS22 I'll probably got about 10 minutes. I played it when it was on the cloud for Xbox Game Pass. You could stream it from the cloud. I played it for about 10-15 minutes, then give up because it looked absolutely awful streaming it. I mean, imagine if I'd downloaded it, it'd probably look a lot better. But and I did think to myself, why am I bothering to even play FS22 on my Xbox? Seems pointless. Chris MC, only certain crops. Yeah, only certain crops if you've got periodic ploughing on. I know corn, sugar beets and potatoes in the base game. Premium DLC, I think you have to after all of the root crops, so carrots, parsnips, red beets as well. That's if you have it turned on. I don't think there's any other crops, is there? I think sugarcane actually shows as requiring ploughing, although it regrows. Well, we've got 37,785 litres so far. We've probably done, what's that, 2/3 of the field? So I was looking at that, we'd probably be lucky if we actually fill this trailer off this field. 2,000 hours on Xbox, nice. I think the last time I properly played FS on Xbox was on FS17 before I switched to PC. I think I had about 600 hours on FS17 and then I switched to PC. Never really played on console that much since then. Go say anyways, I'm going. No worries, thank you for stopping by and saying hello, and enjoy the rest of your week and weekend. Hope you have a good one. I am considering selling the oil mill as well, because I just don't think it gets through the crops. The only crop we can really put in is sunflowers, because canola takes too long to grow, and the oil mill, it's getting through the sunflowers quicker than I can actually harvest them. So I'm just thinking most of the time that production's just sat there not doing anything. So I'm considering it probably beneficial to sell that production. I've got one pallet of sunflower oil. I think that money might be better off used from something else. I don't think there's any other production we can really put in. I think there's, I don't know about the sugar mill. Possibly replace it with the sugar mill for when we get the sugar beets, because I presume we're going to get far more sugar beets than we're going to need. Don't think there is really anything else. I don't really want to go for cereal factory because we need quite a lot for that. We'd need corn, raisins, is it oats, honey, if we was going to do that, which I think is too much work for what you get out of it. Too many different inputs. I mean, I suppose as an easy thing we could put an iron mine in and do some metal, although that probably costs quite a bit. 180,000 for the iron furnace, 250 for the iron mine. I don't know, can you get iron on Mars? Is that one of the minerals that's available? Yeah, I definitely think the oil mill probably will sell and replace, possibly with the sugar mill more than anything, because I'm bound to have loads and loads of excess sugar beets, and it's probably better off refining them into sugar than selling them as sugar beets. Also need to make sure this worker doesn't get too far across and ends up replanting through the crop. Yeah, I think the sugar mill will probably be the best one, or either that or the potato or the soup factory from the premium. If we do potatoes as well, we could do potato soup. I didn't know I was doing this today either. I just decided this afternoon just to, I've been on here all morning on my own, not actually recording anything, just trying to get some progress done in between episodes. So I decided why not do some off-camera work on a live stream. So I think I was on here for about 3-4 hours last night, and then I was on here from probably about 9 o'clock this morning up until 12, and then I went to have some lunch. And then while I was having my lunch, I decided, you know, I'm just going to live stream the next few hours. So I've still got loads to do. We've got the oats and sorghum's going to be ready to harvest again before that cotton's ready. So that's going to need both harvesting, straw collecting up or baling, and then replanting. This field's obviously going to be replanted on. Don't know if this will be ready again before the cotton. I don't think it will. The cotton will be ready before the corn. The grass is going to be ready as well, so that's going to probably get another cut so I can make the most of the grass. Probably do another cut of silage to get some more silage bales, because obviously they make quite a bit of money. Downloaded the link for your old No Man's Land. You have to, I can't remember how I put the link up. I think I put it in an extracted zip file, so you have to extract it from the zip file. You'll have to then go to your documents, My Games, Farm Simulator 22 folder. Check what save game numbers you've already got in there in use, and then change the file to one that's not in use. So if you've got like save game 10 in game is nothing, delete the save game 10 folder from that folder, and then change the No Man's Land folder to save game 10, and then put it in. Word of warning though, the game's had quite a lot of updates since then, so there's a good chance that it might not work with the current version of the game, because it may conflict with far too many things, like outdated mods that are on there. I mean, try it, but there's a good chance that something will be messed up. I know I had the similar problem with, oh, I can't remember which map it was. I know I had the problem with Corpy, because I hadn't been on Corpy for a while, and the game update messed that map up completely. Like all the crops were messed up in Corpy, the fields were all, yeah, it says Corpy. All the fields had the wrong crops in, some fields had a weird texture on them. I mean, the canola field I had on there was poplars. I was like, no, that's wrong. Some of the ploughed fields had some weird texture over the top of them, and yeah, it was just all kinds of wrong. But yeah, that old No Man's Land, that's going to be from a long, long time ago. I don't know what game update we're actually up to now, or what version. But yeah, there's a good chance that it's not going to work correctly. I'm not even sure if I actually have that save game still in my actual folder now. I may have deleted it. Yeah, that's why I stopped on Corpy. It was at the time I was really struggling with FS at the time, and then I come to do Corpy to get back to it, and I was just like, I just couldn't get my head around how I was going to fix it, get it back to how it should be. I was like, it's going to take far too long, and I decided that it wasn't worth the time. The problem with Corpy was mostly is because it's not got any fields on there, like predefined fields. Whereas if you was on a map and you hadn't made any changes to fields, you can just easy dev the crops back in to the correct state. Like this map now, and now I've extended all the fields and joined fields together. Easy dev's not going to work correctly to reset the fields, because it'll only reset where the initial field is outlined in Giants Editor. So it'll only do like the original actual square fields or smaller fields, and it'll leave bits where I've extended the fields and joined the fields together. So if I do have a problem like that on here, I'm a bit stuck as well. Although not running season cycles, it'll probably be a lot easier to actually get it back than Corpy. That was quite a lot of work to try and work out. I would have had to probably skip through a whole 12 months, making sure replanting crops at the right time and getting everything sorted out. It was just too much work at the time. Annoying, because I was enjoying that and looking forward to actually getting a Scandinavian style farm built up. Although I think, was it Finland? I don't know, someone told me before Finland, I don't think it's classed as Scandinavian. Well, technically in English or England we'd class Finland, Denmark, Sweden and Norway as Scandinavian. But I think from their point of view it's not, or one way round or the other, I can never remember. So sorry if I've offended anybody from that part of the world. Being a typical British person and being a bit ignorant of other countries' ways. I think I had a similar problem with Alma. Not so much that the complete save game was messed up, but to the point where I got a little bit frustrated. That's why Alma didn't get very far either. Like I say, my head wasn't in a good place at the time. A lot going on, and due to certain various health issues, sometimes I just get those periods where I just do stupid things like that. No, I just can't get my head in the right place for actually doing anything, and I need to take a step back from stuff. Otherwise I get far too frustrated and end up doing stupid things. Sri Lanka was only 35 episodes because basically I was getting to the point on there where I was making so much money that I didn't really see like there was much to do on there. I'd done pretty much all the productions and crops that were included in the premium DLC, and again unfortunately with that one I don't think it was a particularly popular map itself, and for me I felt like if I continued all I'd be doing is just the same stuff but just buying new equipment, so I didn't really feel like there was much else to do on there. So yeah, that one ended after 35. I think I wrapped it up. I say I've pretty much done every production. We bought all the productions available on the map. We've done quite a lot on there with the products, and some of those productions you make so much money from. And I did try, I think, most of the equipment for the premium DLC. I think there was a few bits I didn't like. I think the sprayer. I think there was another seeder that was included in the premium DLC I didn't use. But I think I used quite a lot of the equipment from the DLC, and I think that's pretty much what all that series was about. It's kind of like highlighting the DLC, so some of the equipment and the productions in it and the map itself. And yeah, unfortunately, a bit like this one, people just aren't interested in the map. They don't watch the videos, and you don't get very good views. It's always difficult when you're trying to choose a map, because you pick one that you think you really enjoy and then the views get really low on it, and you're like, kind of disheartens you a bit. Or you get one of those where you get a fantastic map that comes out but then every other YouTuber's on it, and I think people get bored of the map quite quick because everyone's doing the same thing. But as far as I'm aware, the only other person I've seen do anything on here is Mr. Sealy P. I presume there's probably a lot of other YouTubers that have done stuff on here, but the only one I know of is Mr. Sealy P. I don't think I've seen anybody else do anything on this map. And there's probably a reason why, is because nobody likes it. Although I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying that challenge and trying to, well, not seeing whether I would be able to complete. I think there was no question of if you can or can't. Although, yeah, I'm still 100% sure if you can get all the crops done. But yeah, I don't really see it as much of a challenge. It's just more like, how long is it going to take you? As I said, using certain mods, it would have been a lot quicker. I could have probably easily finished it by now. Especially when you've got mods like the open air gardens, the multi-crop greenhouses, which do pretty much all the crops you can plant in a greenhouse. And they can continuously be producing crops 24/7. I'm sure there's probably lots of other mods now that you can get crops from. I should have really gone and emptied this. So remember, you are just going to get over a trailer load, which is 52,000 litres. This mass is not quite powerful enough for this trailer. Struggling a little bit going up this slight hill. I should do a series on Grizzly Mountain. Yeah, I've got the downloaded version on FS22. I did install it and put a few mods on, and I was going to do something on it around about the same time of the anniversary of Grizzly Mountain series starting, but then I didn't, and I can't remember why. But yeah, maybe before the end of FS22 I'll do a Grizzly Mountain special. A return to Grizzly Mountain, but in FS22. I'd have to rebuild the farm using different buildings though, because I don't think the Modding Veld USA building pack that I used on FS19 has been released for 22. Or at least I'm not aware of it. I'm pretty sure it was Bernie SCS who did that one, that did the White Farm building pack for 22, which I'm using some of the buildings on Iowa. But I don't know if he converted over the 19 American Farm building pack. I mean, it's probably out there somewhere, but I don't know if it was an official conversion. Yeah, Grizzly Mountain, it's obviously a very fondly remembered series by myself and many others. You know, quite a lot of people discovered my channel through that particular series. Hard to think it was, what, just over 5 years ago now? It's probably been a bit longer than that now. Can't remember when I put that post up about the 5 years ago. It was actually when I uploaded the first episode. So I think this is going to take us up over 100,000 litres. So we're going to have 4 crops over 100,000 litres, almost 3 over 200. But still a long way to go on the crops. I might be tempted at one point just to plant every single field with the same crop, do one big harvest on it, and then see how much we get. I think if I was to do that with sorghum and oats, I think we'd get quite close now. Definitely on sorghum. If we did every single field as sorghum, that's like one big harvest. I think that might actually be quite a good thing to do. The only trouble is at the moment, obviously the crops are all growing at different rates, so they're not all going to be ready to harvest and replant at the same time. Because we've got so many crops we need, I don't really want to leave fields sitting with no crops in for a long period of time. I don't think that worker's going to make it all the way back down. I think that was still quite full when we left them. Oh, they are full again. Yeah, so I'm really considering after the next cotton harvest as well, selling the cotton harvester and then not doing cotton again, because cotton's not contributing towards the actual challenge. It's literally just to sell the bales for money. So I think using that field for a crop that's actually going to contribute towards the challenge will be more beneficial. Especially when we get to the point where we don't really need to buy much more equipment. Now let's get this worker set back off again. I forgot about fertilising. We'll have to get some fertiliser on there as well before we skip through to next month. And we can get the second load on. Beehives. I've still got 15 more large beehives to go in. And I think I said in one of the videos, I think it's going to cost like $500,000 to buy all the pallets of saplings to plant 10,000 trees. I mean, so far I've planted 60. I've got quite a long way to go for that. Yeah, trees planted 60. As I said at the start of the stream, the main reason why I haven't really done much is because it costs quite a bit to buy the pallets, and that's not going to help make any more money to buy more equipment. Leaf Farm, not sure how long I've been watching you, but definitely Wilhelmina, so I think 4 years, I think. Not Ravenport. Yeah, Ravenport was obviously the start of FS19, which would have been 5.5 years ago. Where are we? Yeah, no, probably a bit more, but just over 5.5 years, because it would have been, I think, November. So last November would have been 5 years. And we're almost into June already. Can't believe how quick this year's going. Doesn't seem that long ago it was Christmas. Stop the work. I will harvest the last strip. Yeah, this year's going way too fast. Let's go super fast as we're only taking in 2 rows at a time. Although like 25 miles an hour is a little bit too fast. Yeah, so this September will be 6 years since I started on YouTube. And I remember I was saying in the other night when we was online having a chat, so when I started FS19, the previous games had been every 2 years. I was thinking, then you come towards the FS19 and then you realise there's not going to be another game, and as a content creator you think I've got another year of playing FS19, and 22's worked out 3 years. So in the time where I thought it'd be every 2 years there'll be a new game, which would be awesome, because you kind of start getting a bit burnt out, even though it's another farm sim game. It's a bit weird how it works, because you pretty much, it's the same game, you're doing the same thing, but because it's a new game, it just, you get a bit more enthusiasm for it. So I'm looking forward to the new game, because FS22 has not been great for me, I will be honest. I don't know if it's just FS22 in general, or the fact that there's so many more YouTubers doing FS content now since when I started, that it's a lot more difficult to get views. But FS22 has been absolutely rubbish in terms of views and getting new subscribers over the last 3 years. I mean, I've tried a few different things and none of them seem to have worked. I'm kind of at a bit of a loss as what to do. So hoping the new game later this year is going to hopefully give the channel a bit of a kick and get things moving again. Right, I'm just gonna park the combine up over here. So it's now out of the way. I didn't actually check that field, see if it needed lime before I started planting it, did I? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I'm sure we've got one more harvest before it needs lime again. Yeah. So when that field requires lime again, we'll probably extend it out a little bit down this end. We can't do that one, or we can, but not all of it, because you've got that mast in the way. So I'd either have to go around it, or I could come a little bit closer to it. That's just a little bit annoying. If that was a little bit further over here, it'd be fine. The only thing I could probably do is bring that field off to about here and then angle it off. The trouble then is whether it's going to make it awkward for a worker to just leave running on it. I don't know. Let's go and grab the fertilizer spreader. If I can remember where that. I'm sure that's over by the store. Get some fertilizer on that cornfield, and then once that's planted we can then skip through to next month. Don't think these are going to be ready. Oh, actually, that might be ready next month. 404. Sorghum will probably be ready as well. 404, yeah. So both of those fields will probably be ready to harvest again next month. So this corn's going to take a while. It's only 2 of 6. I need to refill this as well. Probably going to need to buy some more seed and fertilizer soon. And actually we've got quite a few bags there. Oh, wrong button again. The Millennial Farm map is coming back. You should do a series on it. I might have a look at it. Again, that's one that came out at the wrong time for me previously. And it was also one of those that I think every other YouTuber jumped on it because of the fact of the map it was. So I kind of avoided it. Alex saying early morning stream. Well, early morning for you. Well, early afternoon for me. Well, yeah, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you better keep those cows fed. Right, 5,000 litres should be more than enough. Fortunately on here we have the feeding robot, so we don't have to worry about feeding the cows. Just need to keep that topped up. Right, X to unfold. Put the enhanced on, B to turn that on. Cruise control on, and away we go. Slow that down a little bit. So for anybody watching, what's your what would you like to see most in the next version of FS? I've seen quite a lot of posts on Facebook, and I think some people have had some really good ideas, but I think they're just very, very wishful thinking. That if I can't see Giants adding some of the stuff some people want. But yeah, who knows? They might surprise us. Or they might surprise me. As I've mentioned before, personally for myself, diggable terrain is not something I'm overly fussed about. I know a lot of people want that, being able to just dig down a bit like what is it? Terraforming mod. I think that's what it's called. I used it a bit in Western Wilds. For me, that doesn't interest me at all. I know people say, oh, but farmers do that, they dig drain ditches and stuff. And yeah, unless that's a feature in the game, there's literally no point to it other than role playing, which I don't do. So diggable ground I'm not fussed about. I'd like to see more dynamic ground, where puddles form, ruts form if you drive over muddy areas. You get tracks forming grass fields if you're constantly driving over the same area. so maybe a bit of ground compaction. I'd love to see that where the weather has more of an effect. Like when you're driving in the field and it's been raining, the field gets muddy, risk of your tractor getting a bit bogged down and getting stuck. So dirt tracks actually getting muddy as well during wet periods. A bit more like ground textures like Snow Runner. They actually feel like you're actually driving through mud. And but as for diggable terrain, that's not something that interests me. I'd like to see more crops as well with some new equipment, some different stuff, so maybe lavender, peanuts or stuff like that that we've not really seen before. Some of that stuff I know has been available as mods, but it'd be nice to actually see them as base game stuff. Yeah, better weather variations and more effect on the weather. Maybe having irrigation, so if you're on a map that doesn't rain very often, you have to irrigate your crops more, whereas a map that gets a lot more rainfall, then you don't have to do it. Could be interesting. I don't know if stuff like that would slow the game progress down a bit too much for some people, if you've got too much stuff to do to an individual field, especially if you've got like weeds turned on, field stones, lime, ploughing. You could potentially have a lot of different processes you've got on one field, which I know is more realistic, but for a lot of people, I think the vast majority of people that play farm sim are quite casual. They're not really hardcore farm sim players, and if you make it too slow to progress, I think they'll get bored and give up far easier and quicker. Oh, the planter's stopped because my tractor's in the way. Sorry worker, I didn't realise it was just sat there earning a wage for doing nothing. Maybe I got carried away with the spreading off. I was paying attention. More construction stuff and more forestry and Ford, Chevy. Oh, I'm going way too fast. Anhydrous. Yeah, it might be interesting. I don't know if is that used anywhere else in the world. I don't know if we use that in the UK. I don't know if that's just more of a US thing, but could be interesting if they add it, especially if they're going to do more North American content in the game, which I think we'll get more in the next game. So I definitely think there's going to be a new US map and another new European map in the next game. But I think we will get probably quite a bit more variation in the equipment between European and American than we have in previous games. Well, again, that's just what I'm thinking at the moment. No idea if that's going to be the case or not. Sure, we'll find out soon enough. Well, that is this field pretty much done apart from the fertilising. So we'll need to give it one more layer of fertiliser, and that actual strip needs redoing again because I've missed that one. So we'll do that one. Rolling, no point in having that on because we don't have a roller. Don't think it's worth investing in a roller for how little it actually gains and adding that extra process to a field. I don't think it's going to really be beneficial. I think Giant should put all those settings in for a more slow. Yeah, I think if they'd add more stuff like that, it needs to be an option to turn it on and off so you can tailor the game to how you want it more. I think if they force you to have to do that stuff, it'll be too much for some people. So as long as it's like that field stones, if they do add irrigation, maybe ground compaction, that it is an option to turn on and off. So if you do want to just come on and harvest fields, plant them without worrying about ploughing, fertilising, well, lime spreading, removing stones and stuff, weeds, you can switch all that off, like you can with most of them now. Can you do the fertilizer? I know you used to be able to change fertilizer. I can't remember if that's an actual thing. Let me stop the track before it starts becoming a mountain goat. Yeah, because I know, is it FS17 you could choose between 1, 2 and was it 3 stages of fertilizer, or maybe 2 and 3? Yeah, no option for that in this one to turn fertilizing off. I really wish there was an option to turn mulching and rolling off. Although I know it is such a small amount it adds, but it would be nice if you could turn that feature off as well. Because I really don't like having it on the minimap when you're not doing it. That you get that kind of thing with the that showing up over the top of the fields, and you have to turn it off, on and off manually. A bit like field stones and lime periodic playing, you could turn rolling and mulching off as well in the options. What I really think they should have done at the start of the game was made rolling and mulching bigger bonus increase. Because I do really feel that 2.5% that they give is pretty much worthless. Kind of like a waste of time. I should have made it 10% each, but not do it that you can't get 100% if you don't do it, but that you can get 120% if you do it. So it's kind of more rewarding to actually roll and mulch your fields. Crop rotation as well, possibly, if you get better yields if you rotate your crops as a base game feature. Again, one that you can turn on and off, like season cycles. And hopefully we'll get a slightly improved seasons as well. Make it easier to, a bit like how we had it in FS19 where you could download the geos for different maps and it would change the crop calendar and the weather patterns for maps by just adding the geo into. I know the way they changed it in FS22, that kind of didn't work. It has to be built into the map, which I know a lot of modders have started doing. You can get a lot more variation in crop calendars in maps now, but I much prefer the 19 way of having the geos, how Realismus Modding had it for seasons. Right. I think we can now, I'm going to speed up time so we can skip through to next month. Just double check the animals. I'm pretty sure there are, oh no, actually chickens. Alright, let's slow time down. I did say that earlier and then I forgot. We need to give the chickens a little bit of feed. I don't think there's going to be enough to see them through the night. And I need to put this in the silo anyway. That's another 13,308 litres of sunflowers. So that's going to take us up to 130,000 litres, just over. So we've more than doubled our sunflowers that we had in the silo. I think we had 65,000 litres. Well, I say more than doubled. I think we have actually pretty much just doubled it, haven't we? Yeah, I think we've got around about 65 off that field. We have pretty much just doubled the sunflowers. But if we're only getting 65,000 litres off one field, or that one big field per harvest, that's a lot of harvest to get to 800,000 litres sunflowers. So I don't think sunflowers is the best crop, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be 8 to 9 months before sunflowers are ready, potentially. I can't remember how long they take. I think it is on the longer side, but not as long as canola. And the main reason why I was only doing sunflowers was for the oil mill, and we can also use it for the pigs as well, for the protein. There's going to be Black Panther versus Predator 4-issue comic miniseries. Interesting. Better crops analysis, improved results with cows, etc. Alfalfa. Yeah, some more different types of animal feed. I'd like to see them add it as well, that grass silage and corn silage is different and it doesn't all convert to chaff when you put it in the silo or bunk silo. So we'll put the sunflowers in, we'll fill up with a little bit of sorghum. Top up the chickens, and then we can skip through to next month, and then we should have the oats and sorghum ready to harvest again. I don't think we can get the sorghum from that one. No, we are the oats, sorghum. Should be enough to fill both chicken pens. Yeah, some more crops. I'd like to see more variation in crops as well, even though they're very similar in appearance and game, but having stuff like rye and say alfalfa, made clover grass as well, and made linseed. It depends where the map's actually based and what crops actually grow in that region. Grilled chickens. It's going to actually pick up. Sometimes this trailer is a bit finicky to get the trigger on the. And other times it works fine. Seems to be working fine now. I think it depends what tractor I've got hooked up. That first time I tried to fill them up with this trailer, I couldn't get the trigger to pick up at all. This one doesn't seem too bad. It says. Go, that's that done. Speed up time again. I'm going to put this back in the silo. Actually, don't we need to? I've got sorghum to harvest next anyway, so I take this straight over to the sorghum field, which is not this one. This is oats. I meant to swap the round as well. I forgot. I left the seed drill on the wrong thing. So I put sorghum in the field I meant to put oats in, and put oats in the field I meant to put sorghum in. Not that it really makes much difference. So I have to remember I've got to do the sorghum first. I imagine grass will probably be ready again next month, so I mean I don't have to cut the grass every time it's ready, but I'll try and make the most of it. I'm pretty sure this will probably be ready. Yeah, that's 3 of 3 now, so that'll be fully grown again. So possibly get a worker to mow that while we're doing the harvesting. Gotta go, see you later. No worries, thank you for stopping by the stream. Hope you enjoyed it and enjoy the rest of your week and weekend to come. A bank holiday weekend in the UK. Although bank holidays mean nothing to me since I've been a YouTuber. It's just another day of the week. So our last bank holiday until August. And then Christmas. One thing I did mention in some of the videos on this, forgot how expensive the base game repair costs were, because I'm not using the repair and maintenance mod I usually use, which reduces the cost of maintenance and how often it needs doing. I know in real life, obviously, repair and maintenance costs can be quite expensive on this equipment, but in game, that's ridiculous. Like the New Holland tractor I went to repair earlier, and it's 16,000. You always get to the point. I don't know what point in, if you've got base game on, where you get to a point where it's like probably worth buying a new tractor rather than paying. I've never really paid much attention. Do the repair costs get higher the older the vehicle, or is it always stay the same regardless of how many hours or how old the equipment is on? Because I always play with that other mod on, I don't really pay much attention. I just pay whatever it costs when it needs doing. Not something I've ever really took notice of as to whether it actually does start getting more expensive the older the tractor is, or the more hours it's got on it. Right, we'll go and get, what else do we need to do? Yeah, we'll get work started on harvesting. I'll get the mowers on the, I was saying Massey Ferguson's on the grain trailer. Put the mowers on the JCB, which I think actually has got the, no. Oh, you know, I know what I forgot to do as well. It's fertilise that little bit of the cornfield that I'd missed. It's where I extended the field. It had only got one application of fertiliser on. I meant to do that before we skip through. I should still be able to do it, so it shouldn't be an issue. Captain Beagle saying, "Yo Sim, hey tune, welcome to the stream." Yeah, it is quite a big wheel for farm sim, but it's better than using a racing wheel. Oops, wrong way. Where's my combine gone? Right. Right, work can go. The other wheel I've got is this one, which is, I would say, a bit smaller, probably more the right size. So I don't know how difficult, easy it is to see on that. So I need to get some slightly better lighting on the actual wheel. Yeah, it's a little bit big, but I think it feels a bit better using this one than using a racing wheel. I am considering just getting a plain tractor wheel and the adapter that I can bolt it to, so I can just use that, because you don't really need the buttons on it. Not when I get the farm stick or side panel back in use. What was I doing? Mowing. What tractors have we got? John Deere, New Holland. I don't really want to use the New Holland for mowing. Don't really need something that big. No point putting hours on a tractor. We don't need to put hours on to a tractor, especially with the repair costs. Forgot where I left the spreader now. Shoot, it was round here. Oh, did I? Oh, I took it back, didn't I? I forgot I took it back. I actually put something away for once, and I forgot I'd actually put it away. Because I've just been skipping through off camera doing those stuff. I've just been leaving stuff everywhere recently. Like running around, I'd got plough over in one area, seed drill just been dumped somewhere else, tractors are all over the place. So I'll do the fertilising first, and I can get a worker doing the mowing. Or actually, is it better to just get them? Decisions, too many decisions. Oh, let's drop that off. I'm going to drop that off. I think we should be okay to pull that with the fence because there's not much in it. I'll put the mowers on this tractor, get the work started on mowing the grass, and they can be doing that while we're doing the other bits. Yeah, I was going to get the farm stick because I'm tempted to try it out. I've already got the side panel, so it's like it's not as if I'm buying one or the other. So I have already got the side panel. I just don't have it mounted to my new rig at the moment, and I can't really find a way to mount it. So I was considering getting the farm stick instead and replacing the one joystick with and the side panel with one. Because previously I was using the Thrustmaster joystick and the side panel at the same time. I don't have space to mount both of them, so either one or the other. So I was considering the farm stick would be better to use than the side panel, as obviously it's more like the joystick, which I much prefer for doing front loader work than using the little joystick on the side panel. The side panel work, it's just difficult to mount because I'm in the aluminium profile rig now. I'm a bit limited to where I can mount things, and ideally the side panel will be on the right hand side, which is where the keyboard and mouse currently is. It's difficult to kind of work out where I'd put the side panel, so it's actually easy to use and not interfering with the keyboard and mouse. Pretty sure it's G. Worker, you can work away doing some mowing. I think we'll do this for silage, so we get some more silage bales. I need an actual tractor if I will be able to pull the spreader. Yeah, farm stick is way nicer for loader work, especially like that. You can use the loader and move the camera. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because the only really thing I used the little joystick on the side panel for was the camera. And then the joystick I always use for front loader work and the other stuff. I always kept the joystick for doing loader work. I much prefer to use the joystick than using the mouse for camera control. I just find the mouse is a bit too... Sometimes I feel like the mouse, when you're trying to move the camera, it's not as smooth as using the joystick. I don't know if that's just because the settings on my mouse are a bit too high. What time is it? 2:45. So yes, I'll probably be streaming till about 4 o'clock, and I need to go and take the dogs out. And then get ready for later this evening when we'll be on Alone in the World on the multiplayer. The combine's full as well, so we need to get that emptied. I can't actually... I'm hoping actually this spreader's gonna... I don't think it's gonna actually cover all that area, is it? I forgot it's gone into the next growth stage, so we can't actually drive in the crop because I've got the crop destruction on. Oh, I knew I should have done it before we skipped through. Right. I don't know how far... Yeah, I don't think it's going to spread far enough to get all of it, but... We'll get as much as we can with the spreader from the edge of the field, and then that'll have to do. And we just need to fertilise the other field of corn. Make sure I do that one before we go to the next growth stage. so we don't get big tyre marks through the crop. Now, I went to buy the farm stick or look for it on Amazon. It was in stock. Then it went down to like early June delivery, which would have only been a week or so, and now it's like 1 to 4 weeks. It's kind of like unavailable again, sort of. So like I missed my chance to get one. So I think definitely next time they come back in stock on Amazon, I'll probably pick one up straight away. I'm hoping with this field it's going to take us up to close to 450,000 litres of sorghum, so we'll be halfway there to that one. At the moment the pigs are eating very little, so I haven't actually had to top the pig feed up again, but we don't have that many pigs, but I've still got plenty of feed, so actually it's still going to be a good while before we actually need to top up the pigs again. As I said in one of the videos as well, in my opinion the root crops for pigs is a complete waste of time. It just does not do anything. So if you're doing pigs, don't bother with the root crops. Right, worker H. Because all you need for pigs is to get the health up to 100%, which is without root crops. So that little 5% does absolutely nothing. It's just a complete waste of time. I never used to bother with it in FS19 either. It's like, I just don't see the point of 5%. Because the way the pigs worked, obviously their reproduction was slightly different in the base game, where it depended on how many animals you had, and as long as their health was up, the faster they would reproduce, so the more offspring you'd get. And that extra 5% made no difference to the actual time, so it's kind of a waste of time in 19 as well. It's one thing they could actually do in the next game is make it so it's more worthwhile doing. Because at the moment it's just pointless having it there at all, in my opinion. The only thing it really will do, I don't even think it'd actually reduce how much. Maybe it'd just reduce how much of the other stuff they eat slightly. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get all of what's missing, but oh yeah, maybe we can get. I was hoping we'd get a little bit more than that. It'd be a tiny strip, but yeah, it's probably not even worth doing that, to be honest. Oh, now I'm destroying the crop. A little bit too far over. Yeah, I might just have to put the narrow tyres on and get the sprayer to do that. Yeah, I might just put the narrow wheels on the tractor and get the sprayer on the back. I think that'll be the best way to do it. I didn't realise I'd destroyed so much of a row there. That was probably a waste of time. So the plan is to say get back to where that cotton field's ready to harvest again, and then I'm going to go from there. So did I put sunflowers in there? I meant to put corn in here, didn't I? I thought it was still on corn. I didn't realise I'd changed it. Oh well. So we got sunflowers again. It was meant to be corn. I did ask everyone and said corn. I didn't even notice it wasn't corn. For some reason I'd just assumed I'd left the planter on from the previous field. Right, worker, you can do that one. And we're going to have to go and unload the combine again. Yeah, his lights are flashing. And one thing I haven't actually been checking on here very often is the used equipment sales. Potentially have missed out on some good stuff. I don't have the mod that increases how much stuff shows up in there, like I'd normally use. So if you've seen on some of my time-lapse videos, you might see I've got like 10, 15 different items in there. Because I use the vehicle sales customizer mod, which allows you to increase how much shows up. As opposed to what I think it's 5 is the maximum for single player. If you do multiplayer, I think it's 10. Whereas that mod, I think, I can't remember how many I've got mine set to, but it's quite a lot. So you get a good variation of stuff show up. But I'm not using that mod on here. Again, I think it's one of those things that possibly may make it a little bit too easy, because you get so much stuff come up. There's always something that's usually worth buying in there. Right. Is it? I'm just going to leave the worker until he's finished mowing, then we'll get the windrower on that one. Start raking that up ready for baling. That should be another probably 70 odd silage bales then to sell. And they're ready. Over half full already. I can't remember how much I actually got off this field, but we have extended it. This is the actual first harvest I've done on this field since I extended it out a little bit. So we should get, well, we will get a lot more, but I don't know how much more. I can't remember how much we got off the last harvest on here. Well, after this I might plant both fields with sorghum. So this one and the one that's got the oats in. And try and get up to the 800,000 litres of sorghum a bit quicker. And then once that one's done, then just do oats in both fields. We don't currently need any straw, so there's no real reason to plant oats. The main reason why I've been doing oats is because we obviously need straw for bedding. Although I'm not sure how much manure we're actually getting. So I was hoping that we'd get to a point where we get a decent amount of manure, that we could then start using that instead of fertiliser on our field. But Don't think we're actually going to get to that point. I mean, we don't have many cows and pigs at the moment, so we're not actually getting loads, but I think by the time we get to the point where we are producing enough, I think we'll probably be pretty much finished anyway. There's 7,000 litres in there, and 7 in that one. They're both the same. We did lose a bit. As I said, I didn't realise when I first put those, or first put the manure pit in it, I didn't even think to check whether it was picking up both sheds. For some reason I just presumed it was close enough to pick up both, but it was only actually picking up one. So we've got 22,000 litres in that one, and then 35 in this one. So I think that might be enough to do a couple of fields, but it's not going to go very far. And we don't currently have a manure spreader. Sorry, I did see that thing come up saying the worker was stuck, but I didn't know which worker it was. Now I do. Sorry, worker. You're still getting paid. Don't worry about it. There you go, I'm out your way. Actually, we can put the fence on. Put the fence on the windrower once that field's finished fertilising. Makes more sense than using the higher horsepower tractor. That combine's going to be full again on the pipes in the field. Oh, actually lights aren't flashing yet. How full is it? Oh, fairly full. Probably very, very close to 80%. Probably any second now it's going to come up. Yep, there we go. Hopefully you'll get to the end of the field and turn around this time. That'll be another 10,000 litres. Or close to another 10,000 litres. I'll put us about 40 so far, which is just going to take us up just over 400,000 litres, so just over the halfway mark for sorghum. I keep forgetting as well, we are still only in year 4. I keep thinking like I'm going to run out of time. I've still got like 16 years. I don't really want to be spending 20 years actually, because that'd take forever. I really want to try and speed things up a little bit. Obviously having a bigger harvester would be nice, but as I said earlier, it's not something I'd really want to spend that money on. Because a larger harvester is only going to save us a little bit of time. It's not going to do anything other than that. So there we go, we are now officially over the halfway mark for one crop out of the 6. Still a long way to go. That'll soon speed up once we get sugar beets. I don't think it's going to take too many harvests to hit 800,000 litres of potatoes and sugar beets. And there is the option to do the premium expansion crops, which would also be quite quick. Well, quite few harvests because of how much you actually get, but it wouldn't be quick in terms of how long it would take to harvest them. Especially if I'm only using base game stuff, because those harvesters that came with that premium DLC are very, very slow and not very fun to use. If any of you actually tried them, let me know if you actually liked them. I just found those, not good to use at all. Especially when you're trying to do videos. suppose the self-propelled one's not too bad if you've got a worker on it and you're constantly by the side, but the fact that you have to drive in the crop to harvest it going down the field, or you have to keep jumping out, switching the worker to the other side of the field if you don't like driving on the crop. I'm leaving the tree planting until the point where I'm earning enough money and I've bought most of the equipment I need, that I don't have to worry about spending money on pallets of saplings. Because I'm not earning money from the trees, I'm not planning on cutting them down any of the plants. It's just going to cost a lot of money to buy the saplings, so I don't see at the moment it's worth spending that money on buying saplings when there's other things that are going to be far more beneficial. So I do plan on getting some more trees in soon. I'm going to buy a pallet of oak saplings, maybe one of the other deciduous trees, and plant some of those around, just so I can start getting it to look a little bit different. Not really changed much apart from the fields getting a little bit bigger. So I might get a pallet of, I don't know which ones are available on this map to plant. I think they're pretty much all of them. So the American elm, I think the other one. Which to do pallets? Yeah, so I'm thinking of getting maybe a pallet of birch, oak and maple. I think it is the other one, not elm. Or the American elm. Which one was maple? I can't remember. Yeah, getting some pallets of the deciduous trees and planting some of those around, just in areas, just to make it look a little bit different. Because I'll still count towards the trees planted. But I'm a bit keen as well to start making some changes to the actual landscape, because it does look very dull and plain. But as for the tree planting, yeah, I'm not going to leave it till the very end. I will start doing it every now and then once we've got a bit more money coming in and most of the equipment we're going to need. Like at the moment, I don't want to spend $500,000 on buying all the saplings when we need other equipment. I suppose what I probably will do soon is get to a point where, because we've got the cheese, we've got the clothing as well that's going to be coming in every so often, is just buying one pallet every now and then. So we're slowly working towards it and not leaving it all to the end, but we're not wasting loads of money all in one go on it. We've still got the beehives, 15 more beehives we need to build as well. Again, I'll probably put another 5 in when we've got some more money, and then just keep adding to those as and when until we hit the 20. Right, so that's that trailer full. 52,000 litres so far. We've done over half the field. I reckon we'll get 80,000 in total off this field at least, which is not too bad. So if we do both fields of sorghum next time, that should be probably around about 200,000 litres in total off both fields, I imagine. That'll put us up well over 600,000, so one more harvest after that and that's that crop done. So I could actually... No, I think once the cotton's done, I think I'm going to put sugar beets in the field that's got cotton in. Sell the cotton harvester and use some of the money of that for the cotton harvester as well. And then the next purchase after that will probably be getting the new combine. So that'll speed up that process. And I don't really think there's much else that's going to be... the mowers. Would like to upgrade the mowers as well. Although again, like the combine, that's not essential that we do it. It's something I would like to do though, to speed up that job. And if we get the ones with a swath drop as well, that's going to save, like, put 2 jobs into one. So we're not having to go over it again with the windrower. When we're doing silage bales, we can just bale it straight up. So talking of mowing, I'm going to swap this over for the windrower so that I can make a start on that. I won't get time to bale up all of that in this stream. That's going to take a while, so it's something I'm going to have to do later or another time. But we should be able to get these fields harvested, get the seed drill back in, replanting them. A lot of the work I wanted to get done is going to be done. I've still got quite a bit to do before the next episode I record. Need to put some more pathways in. This won't be the time lapse, no, this is all stuff I was intending to do off camera. So I feel like the videos in this series are getting a little bit repetitive, because it's that kind of thing without seasons on. I'm in that cycle of rinse and repeats, just like harvest, replant, just trying to get those crops in the silo. So I was like, I don't really want to keep doing that for the next few videos. I want to try and get to the point where we can start doing some different crops. And we can progress a little bit faster as well. Because the next, if I'd have carried on going, the next video would have been the cotton harvest, and then possibly, I think the grass was ready as well, which is pretty much all I've done in the last few videos. Sorghum, oats, cotton, grass, sorghum, oats, cotton, grass. It's kind of in that repetitive cycle. It's like I really don't want to be continuing that much more. It'd be nice to get some different stuff in the videos. So trying to do off-camera work without actually doing too much that you're not really going to miss much. So it's not as if I'm going to come back for the next video and like everything's done apart from a couple of little things. Right. I've detached. Windrow is over here. A larger windrow would be nice as well. Because I've been using mostly the workers for windrowing and mowing. It hasn't really bothered me that much. I just kind of leave them to get on with it. I really like your time-lapse on the series. Well, thank you for that. Glad you enjoy it. Yeah, so it's an off-camera on camera. So it's a stream of stuff I would be doing off camera, just for so stuff nobody would normally see. And I imagine by the time I finish, I'll have probably done an extra 10 hours off camera, which is not something I normally do. Don't usually tend to spend that much time in between episodes, but this one's taken quite a while. I think I need to move that over a little bit. Oh, long way. My reversing is terrible. Right. V to lower. Right, worker, you can carry on. Has the other worker actually finished mowing? No, not quite yet. I don't think they're too far off. A few more rows to go. combine is full again by the looks of it. Yep. Where did I leave the tractor with the trailer? Over here at the silo. Get that combine unloaded. So I do quite a bit jump cuts at times during the time-lapse videos. You might see me go to the unload the silo, I'll stop recording, then go off and do other stuff, and then just start recording again from where I just dumped the stuff. So it's kind of like there's not a break in the video or an obvious jump, but by the time I get back to the field I've switched workers or done other bits and pieces off camera. Usually they don't take long. I just help it, sometimes it helps keep the flow of the video rather than me running around switching workers from one field to the next or changing the job they're doing on camera, and it gets a bit confusing to keep up with what's going on. Another 10,000 litres. Still got quite a bit to do on there. They're all fully fertilised, so we've just got that one strip and then we'll have to fertilise the grass again once that's finished. Get this field replanted. Yeah, loads to do. Seems like never ending on this. I'll tell you one thing, I haven't overly enjoyed not having the season cycles, because I find it's far easier to structure what you're doing, because you can plan things out. You know, you get to winter, you do certain jobs, and then spring you've got your planting or field prep and stuff. But when you're doing it like this with no season cycles, it's kind of just, so it does easily get to that rinse repeat, trying to get everything done as fast as possible. Harvest the field, replant it, fertilise it, and then repeat again very soon. Can't see it, I'm miles ahead. A bit too fast for the combine, I don't even know if I'm close enough. I need to go over a little bit. Oh, this is a hard job to do in cab. You have returned, welcome back. What mod do you use that shows what year you're in? That is the info display extended mod, I think it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's on the in-game mod hub if you're on PC. Don't think it's available on console, because I think it uses a script to get it to work. I may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's called the info display extended mod, or info display extension, or that may be another mod. There's two that are quite similar with the name. One of them adds more info in the bottom box, and the other one adds the info at the top. So if anybody else does know the exact name, please let me know in the comments. Appreciate that. It's unfortunately it's one of those things, because with equipment mods and stuff, it shows up on here, but obviously script mods and other mods like that don't actually show up on that screen in game. You have to do it through the mod menu at the start. So I'm not 100% sure what it's called, but if you search on FS22's website, the info display extended, you might find it. Trying to think if there's anything else we needed to do. The fertilising was done on that one. We still need to do the corn, which I'll do with the sprayer, but I'll probably leave that one until another time. Although I'll probably forget more than anything, but unfortunately you can't get a worker to bale. That would be nice in the next game, if you're getting a standard worker to actually bale up the field. I don't know how that would work. I know you can do it with course play, but I don't have course play installed on here. I would have had to have set up a course for the actual windrower. The worker has finished mowing. So at the moment grass is pretty much just our cash crop. We haven't really needed to do silage for actual feed or hay as much as I thought we would have done. Oh, that's not the one I want. So the amount of hay we got last time will probably last a good long while. So we won't actually cut the grass for hay again for a while, and we don't need any more silage. We can just sell all the silage bales, which is not a bad thing because obviously it brings us quite a bit of money. Let's get that dropped off. Q. Remember the button again. Oh, that's reverse. Definitely could do with a pressure washer as well. I don't think I've washed any of the equipment at all. Well, obviously I haven't because we don't have a pressure washer. I think it's the longest I've ever gone in a game without actually cleaning equipment. Remember to reset the barrel counter this time. I forgot to do it last time, so I have no idea how many barrels we actually got off this field. I was saying that actually this will be the first cut since I extended it again. So this is one of those jobs I've been doing where I sometimes do the jump cut, whereas I'll leave the field and run off from it as though if I've left a worker doing the baling. And I'll go and jump something else, stop recording, go back, bail up the field, so when you come back it's all done. Just faster because the baling does take quite a while. I think we just got back just in the right time. Worker's got his lights on and he's heading the right way. And he's almost done this field, probably a couple more up and downs. That'll be the sorghum done. So we can get them switched over to doing the oats. Woohoo, I'm bored at work and you're come up with a live stream, so not boring anymore, thanks him, no worries. Glad you can watch at work. Hope you don't get into trouble for doing that. But yeah, thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Although I must admit many times when I was at work I'd be watching stuff on my phone, hiding away somewhere. I don't think that header's quite wide enough to get up and down. It's going to have to go down again, I think. I don't think it's going to take all that in one go. Just trying to work out now if he's going to get to the bottom of the field and back to this end without being full, so we can then unload him on that last strip. Or we'll wait and see. Earbuds nowadays, it's so easy. I must say I do really like having my earbuds, especially when I'm out in the garden doing stuff, because I usually have an audio book or got the football commentary on, just like streaming it from my phone. Although I must admit, I did nearly lose one of my earbuds on the weekend. It fell out my ear into a bag of compost. It took a while to find. Especially when you got like black earbuds in a black bag of compost that's very dark on the inside. Is he taking all of that? No, he's leaving a tiny little strip, which I thought he would. So I really need to get a new combine, but as much as I really want to get one, I know it's not the best use of money. And if I was going to get one, I'd probably want to get the John Deere X9, because it's got quite a big grain tank. What is that one? 16,200. Although it's not the biggest, the 18,000 litre class one is, but I think this one gets a smaller header. So I'd be looking at getting one of these, which, yeah, it's a lot of money just for something that does exactly the same as what this one does. Just got a larger capacity grain tank and can have a larger header. So we've already had one full load, 52,000 litres, so yeah, I imagine this is going to be close to 35,000 litres when we've finished unloading, maybe a little bit more. It's going to be like almost 90,000 litres off this one field. Come on, Massey, struggling a little bit. I don't have any equipment mods because I find a lot of the mods on ModHub, or not all of them, but there is a lot of stuff on there that makes things a lot easier because they're like really cheap to buy. Like there's a lot of balers on there that do pretty much the same as I'm doing, but you can buy it for like next to nothing. So I didn't want to make it too easy of a challenge, so I wanted to be a bit of a challenge. Right, that's that done. So 38,000 litres, so plus the 52, So yeah, just over 90,000 litres in total. Get the worker set off on the oats, make sure I put the straw swap on. So yeah, there is probably a lot of mods I could use equipment wise that are balanced to the in-game stuff. But I do find that it's one thing, it's only a personal opinion, but I do find that a lot of mods are completely unbalanced to the actual game. Like a lot of the production mods now just produce way too much stuff, make way too much money, and they unbalance the game far too much. And there's a lot of equipment mods on there that are far too expensive compared to in-game equivalents. And I know they're realistic prices, but at the end of the day, for me, it's a game. You need that game balance, otherwise it kind of makes some things pointless. It's like, what's the point in buying a £170,000 square baler when you can get one off Mod Hub for 12,000 that does exactly the same thing? It's like, kind of like, I know it's an older baler, and obviously the other one's new, but they do exactly the same, they work exactly the same, they work at the same speed. It's kind of like, what's the point in buying the more expensive one when you can get that one for 12,000? And to me that unbalances the game, and you end up using certain mods all the time because of that, rather than trying different stuff. And then I find some of the mods are fantastic looking mods, but I'll probably never use them because they're just far too expensive. One case being the new case quad track that was on Mod Hub, that's I think over $1 million. It's like, why would you spend that much when you can buy a tractor for the same horsepower for half the price? And I'm going to the wrong place. So although that might be a realistic price for the real world, for me it should be more in balance with similar tractors in game. I'm not saying it should be exact same price, but it should be within a similar price range for a tractor with the same horsepower. Pretty much as the base game actually is, it's pretty well balanced from that respect. Remember you saying something about this last stream. Do you think we could do a series where you get all... Can't read that one word again. Why did YouTube put that stupid love heart in the way? I presume you do all the crops. I think that says. Or I assume that's what that says. Possibly for the last series on 22. I mean, I did mention earlier in the stream that once this series is finished, the next one I do after this one will probably run till the end of FS22, as long as it's a decent map and people are watching it. Because I don't want to be starting too many different things now, because we're almost into June, and if the new game's coming out in November, then that's not really that long. The crazy stuff like on Hinterland, I will be getting back to Hinterland to finish that off. That is something I plan to do, but I wouldn't be doing another series like it now. But I will be going back to that one to finish that one off at some point soon, probably after this one's finished actually. I've just completely lost all sound. Hopefully you can still hear me, because I can't hear anything. Let me know as well if you can hear the game or actual music, because I don't know what you can and can't hear now. For some reason I have this problem every so often. My PC kind of loses all sound. Or I don't know if it's the actual computer or whether it's got to route the sound through. Audio is fine, okay, so at least you can still hear. So it's just me. I don't know if it's a problem with the Elgato wavelength software, or whether it's the actual computer itself. time at 3:30. Now the only way I ever seem to be able to fix it is by completely restarting the computer. I might have to just talk to myself in silence. Hopefully I'm not shouting too much because I can't actually hear myself anymore. It's a very weird experience. So I don't often play with the game sound on. I'm not actually sitting here with headphones on with no sound at all. You've just got something else listening to. It seems weird having the headphones on and not being able to hear anything through them at all. So that's the combine unloaded. How much have we got? Let's double check. So sorghum we're up to 456,000 litres, 173 in total. So we're just, well, say a good way over halfway to the 800,000 on that, but still quite a long way off the others. Oats will be, imagine how much we get off this field in oats. We've got 11,000 litres so far after what, 2 passes. So that's going to be what, 20, no, yeah, 20, 30, 40, 60, I reckon about 70, 80,000 litres. That doesn't seem right, but that seems a bit low, but maybe it's not. Right, I'm a bit confused now because this sound thing is just, yeah, it just feels weird. Right, so I leave the work. I don't know how long it's going to take to be full. Actually, the one thing I never checked as well before we skip through is productions. So that's actually out of milk, so we need to get some milk over here. We have got quite a few pallets of cheese. That's doing okay for flour for now. That one's got some wool. That one's still got some fabric. We've got quite a few pallets of cloves, and they're worth quite a bit. How much is, what's the current price on those? I don't want to sell anything off camera, so I'm going to wait till the next video before we start selling all this stuff off. Just so there's not a big jump in money between videos for anybody that's not seeing the live stream. So currently it's 17,763. And just double check, I am on normal economy, aren't I? Yeah, it seems high. It's been a while since I've actually sold cloves. Apart from, what was it? Dark Forest I did, but I've never really paid attention to how much I was making on there, or what the prices were. I got clothes were worth quite so much. 1734, what's that? 68. Oh, 68, 98, 102, 119, 129, 135,000 roughly there of cloves, so that's not too bad. Oil mill I'm not going to bother topping up again, as I said before. I think it gets through the crops too quick, so we're not really going to keep up with it, and I've got no interest in doing olives or canola. Canola takes too long to grow, and again I don't think it'll last long. I really don't particularly enjoy doing olives and grapes. Don't really find them fun to do. Might just get this field finished. I'm going to concentrate on finishing the harvest off rather than start baling up. So I'm not going to have to keep an eye on the combine. Just jump back into the JCB Massey. I usually use the JCB for grain carting because it's the faster tractor. But they've got kind of switched around a little bit. Yeah, let's see if we can. We've got 25 minutes. I can't go any longer than that. Oh, I don't know if we'll get that done in 25 minutes. We'll see. The straw from the previous oats, I've been doing what I've been doing in the videos is I'll pick some up with the forage wagon and top up the cow shed. So the feed mixer, the actual bedding for the cows and then the pigs. And then anything left on the ground I've just been selling with the forage wagon. I haven't bothered baling up the straw because the crop's usually ready to harvest again before the cows need any. So it's kind of like, I don't see the point in baling up straw to keep bales sitting around. And I think it's a quicker process using the forage wagon than baling it and then going around collecting the bales separately. If we had a square baler it wouldn't be so bad because you can continuously bale and to keep stopping to unload. But then if we had the square baler we'd have to separately wrap silage bales. So kind of, you have to weigh up the offsets of doing one or the other. Unless you've got enough money to buy both balers, then you can do square for straw and hay. Just round wrap bales for silage and do wrapping and baling at the same time. Generally why I tend to mostly go with round balers. I much prefer doing silage bales with the round baler than doing the square bales. Generally because the balers work out cheaper. The round bale wrappers are a lot cheaper than the one that does square bales, so it's easier to get those. And square balers usually tend to be quite high horsepower and more expensive than round balers as well. So especially when you're starting off with no equipment, unless you get the modded square baler that's like 12,000 as I was mentioning before, it's yeah, difficult to get some of the base game square balers early in game because you need quite a lot of horsepower to pull them, and they are usually quite a lot more expensive as well. So I always tend to favour the round balers for that reason. Although they are a little bit more of a pain when you're doing the actual baling itself. Have you seen the new map for Edo mods? Deutschland? I have seen some screenshots. It does look a fantastic map. As did their previous one, the Italian map. But the reason I never used or played on that one was they kind of did that thing where you had to pay extra for the the HD textures. It's kind of their way of getting around paid for mods. Yeah, the map's free to download, but you can then buy additional textures if you want them. So 32% full. It looks like the windrowing's nearly done, so all I've got to do is bale that field up and that'll be another job done. So I'm not sure when the next episode of this series will actually be out, because I've still got quite a bit to do before I'll be ready to record it. I think the cotton's still got quite a while yet. 7 of 8, so it's not too far off. So yeah, maybe just replanting these 2 fields we've harvested and finishing the grass, baling that up and getting the bales moved over by the sell point ready to be sold. Yeah, maybe not too long. And I've got the Iowa Plains view as well I need to get back to. At the moment I haven't actually recorded anything on that for a bit, so actually while I'm in the combine I need to be in the other tractor so we can unload while the combine's got the pipe in the field. 20 minutes left. I don't think we're going to quite get this finished. We should be close to doing it. It's one of those things as well with the new game potentially coming out is how easy it's going to be to convert mods to it, and how long we're going to have to wait for some of our favourite mods to get converted over. I know for a lot of people that's one thing, they don't buy the new version straight away until they wait a while until some of the mods have been released. And sometimes then, depending on the differences between the games, how quick that can be done. I think between 19 and 22 it was a bit easier than it was between 17 and 19. I do think Giants, it would be good if, I don't know how difficult it would be if Giants could come up with a way of doing it so all previous mods would be compatible fairly easy, so they would only need like minor changes. Obviously that would mean that some mods wouldn't be the best, but it would allow mods to get out quicker, and then they could be updated, bringing them up to like standard for the new game. But at least then you'll be able to use some mods a lot sooner than having to wait potentially quite a long time. Thank you very much for the subscription. Unfortunately I can't read your name. Oh, I can. I can read your name, but I can't pronounce it very well. I don't know if it. Let's say Junior. I'm not sure how you pronounce the first bit. Thank you very much for the subscription. I did hear that though. For some reason that come through on my other monitor, not through my headset, which is strange. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Definitely something wrong with the system sound somewhere. One thing I did see as well, a lot of people talking about potentially larger maps on the new game. I don't know if that's something that will be implemented myself. I mean, I don't know currently how well the Xbox, let's say Xbox One, Xbox Series X and PS5, in terms of their hardware, how well they would run a 4X map on FS22, let alone a potentially new game that may be a bit more intensive on systems as standard. So I don't think we'll get larger maps as base for the new game, but then that's another one, you never know. I don't know, to me, for the average player, I think 2 kilometre square maps are probably just about right size. Again, if you go too big, it could potentially become a bit of a grind to get stuff done. If fields are too large, it might put people off, especially if you've only got like 2-3 hours every now and then to play the game. You don't want to be spending all that harvesting half a field. So personally I don't think we'll get larger maps, but you never know. I do think it would be nice to get some large maps, but probably not 4X, maybe like 3 kilometres by 3 kilometres. A downside as well to having large maps is that every previous map wouldn't be able to be converted over straight. You'd have to completely rebuild it to the new sizes, which would mean a lot more work for modders in terms of maps, and that would slow down the release of mod maps for the new game by probably quite a bit. So yeah, I don't see larger maps coming as standard. Whether larger mod maps would be allowed on Mod Hub for console, I don't know. I think the way Giant's editor works, it's not really designed for maps larger than the base game. So unless they implement a way that modders can make larger maps if they want to easier, and then they've got the option which one they choose to use, I think would be good, but whether they'll be on console, no idea. It'll be interesting to see. I personally think they're going to stay the same size. Put more emphasis on their improving graphics and details rather than large maps. Don't know why I stopped the work then. I should just left and turned around and followed him up the tractor. That trailer's probably not far off going to be full. It's still got quite a bit. I haven't really saved anything. I've probably just wasted a bit of time doing that. Oh, 14 minutes. Should have timed how long it takes to do one pass up the field. Roughly work out. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back this evening. So if you've not watched any of the live streams in the evening, we do it on multiplayer. So there's usually about 4 or 5 of us. I'm currently on the Alone in the World map, if you're familiar with that. So tonight's job's to get some trees cleared, so we can clear some of the areas we mowed last time, and then we can get at least 3 new fields ploughed in. Get our first crops planted on there. So we are doing a complete start from scratch in terms of no fields, but we did start with equipment and quite a big loan as well to cover all that. So it's a bit similar to No Man's Land, so there's no fields at all on the map. Well, I'll tell a lie, there was one small field that I did remove because I didn't see the point to it, for us anyway. For Harry, thank you very much for the subscription. I really appreciate that, and I hope you enjoy the content. Is that a name I can pronounce? Yeah, so it's similar to No Man's Land, but there's obviously multiplayer, so there's more of us. So we're trying to do it in a kind of quite fast progress. So we're getting quite a bit done each stream. Especially, hopefully, there's going to be like 4 or 5 of us each week. So I did say that if you didn't see the first one, we did over 1 million from silage bales. Right, I'll go and unload this trailer while that's going back down. If I can get there fast enough and get back to the field. But the worker's going to have got to the end and turned around and started coming back up before we get unloaded. Yeah, so we did the first stream on there last week where we started with tractors. We've all got our own tractor. Started with a couple of mowers, a couple of balers and some bale loaders, and just cut loads of the grass. There were silage bales which were sold as we started off with no money. So once we'd added all the equipment in, bought the land, we set the money to 0. So everything else we need we have to buy. So there's no like leasing, no additional loan. We need to make sure we keep making money so we can keep buying more equipment that we need. Yeah, the plan for tonight is to get 3 fields ploughed in, get lime spread on them and get them sown with crops. And then depending on how long that takes, we'll try and get some other stuff done as well if time allows. It should be good fun. I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully we'll see a few there as well. We should be starting about 7:30 UK time, which is about what, 3.5 hours after I finish this one. I was thinking then it was 4.5. No, it's going to be 4 o'clock when I finish. So it's only going to be 3.5 hours. I've turned in way too early there. Completely got lost and I couldn't see. It's the other side of this building. For some reason I thought it was before this garage bit. I don't know why. There we go, that's the right place. go. Oats going in. Is that going to take us up to over 300,000 litres? Yeah, 305. And hopefully for later as well, the audio will be fixed, so I can actually hear the game and the music and myself. That'll be a good thing. Oh, that might not be a good thing. Right, where is the work? I just got to the end of the field. That was actually worked out pretty well. Just turning round. So 52 minutes. So what was that, about 6-7 minutes to go up and down? Yeah, we're not going to get it done. There's probably going to annoyingly one tiny little strip that I'm going to have to finish off. Can't leave it if it's that close to not to being finished. Cruise control on. Cruise control on. Yeah, it's gone too slow. Yeah, there's probably one more down. Oh, well, three and a bit more passes after this one. I imagine that's going to be another 20,000 litres of oats, so we're getting there slowly. Slowly is the unfortunate word in that phrase. What I really should have done was put the I completely forgot put the work wheel on the New Holland on the seed drill, planting the sorghum field. Oh, a bit too late now. No, it probably would have been finished by now. Completely forgot about doing that. And before I do forget, right, it doesn't matter actually. I can do it for the next video. Come on, working. You need to get back down the other end of the field super fast. So I've still got some more roads to paint in as well, around a few areas. Again, that's mostly decorative. I was going to potentially look at doing a live stream where I'd just do all that sort of thing. Just doing like landscaping and terraform, which isn't going to make any like progress towards the actual challenge itself. It's going to make no difference. It's all just cosmetic. That's one thing, actually thinking about that, it's one thing I'd like to see in the next game. I don't know if they will add it. Is an undo button for landscaping. It's so annoying when you slightly make a slight mistake and then it costs you an arm and a leg to fix it. That's mostly why I tend to use the free landscaping and painting, simply because you can't rectify any mistakes, or if you change your mind you're kind of stuck with it unless you constantly save and then reload if it doesn't go right, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, an undo feature in build mode next time would be super handy. I don't think they'll do one, but would be good to have one. especially for someone like me, because I often do something and then slightly change my mind. And then if you've just spent like 20,000 landscaping, then have to spend another 20,000 to change it, it soon mounts up to eating all your money away just for something that's purely cosmetic. Just speed this up a little bit, otherwise I'm going to be a bit late finishing. Don't go too fast though. Coming up to 3 minutes. I need to go. The dogs are going to be going mental. It's time to go for walkies and get some food. I'm at that stage now where I've got to finish. I can't leave it at that tiny little bit. Right, let's increase the cruise control on the tractor as well to match the combine. Why did that not go on again? I'm holding the accelerator down while trying to put it on so it's not registering. Yeah, so it's going to be that one more row down and then a tiny little strip on the edge of the field again. Should just shorten the edge of the field so it matches up perfectly. Now I'm going a little bit too fast. Slow down. I'm going to be doing a Jeremy Clarkson and having it spill all over the edge of the trailer. Yeah, so I'll finish this off, but we'll start wrapping it up there. So just say a big thank you to everyone that's watched, tuned in this afternoon. I really appreciate you taking the time to come watch the stream. So it was a little bit of an impromptu stream, wasn't planned. So I thought it'd be fun to do. There was somebody to talk to rather than me sitting here on my own. Well, I'm going a bit too slow now. It's that thing, you get to that point where the tractor and combine are difficult to match up exactly. So yeah, it was a bit of an impromptu stream. One thing I keep saying I'll do more often, but it's early streams and different times. Maybe I will. Now I've got my setup almost done. It's a lot easier to just start streams because I don't have to keep setting different things up and getting things ready. So yeah, maybe I'll do some more streams at different times. I want to get some more streams on the other channel as well at some point. Possibly some Euro Truck on there or some other games. So I have mentioned in a few streams as well about doing iRacing. So I tried to record my first race on iRacing recently, but I was having problems getting it to record. So the first race I recorded, but somebody crashed into me on the first lap and put me in the barrier. And I got a little bit frustrated, and then I kind of like lost my train of thought for the actual video, so I ended up scrapping the video because it didn't come out very well. And then the second race didn't record at all for some reason. I thought it was recording and then came to edit it and I'd got no footage at all. Couldn't be found anywhere on my computer, so I'm not sure what happened there. And then the third attempt, it started recording the race and then midway through it switched to recording my desktop. So I got like the first few minutes of the race and then just my desktop. I think it's a problem having iRacing set to like windowed mode. So I don't know if I accidentally clicked off something and then it confused the recording software as to what it should be recording. So yeah, my attempts to record an iRacing video haven't gone very well so far. But I might possibly do some live streams on there in the future as well on the other channel. I'm destroying a little bit of crop here. I don't know why I'm bothering. The combine's not going to be full before the end of the field. Yeah, as Doughboy says, have a great day everybody. I say big thank you for taking the time to come and watch. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're about later this evening, hopefully you can at least come and say hello during tonight's stream. It'd be great to see some of you there. I know different times of day for people it might not be suitable, but I say even if you just jump in for a few minutes, say hello, I appreciate it. It's always good fun having that interaction with viewers as well. Obviously you don't get during normal videos. Get a chance to answer some questions and just talk rubbish for a few hours. So last little strip, we're up to 28,000 litres currently in here. Going a little slow again. This game is free on Epic. I think it's still on Game Pass as well on Xbox. And I think it was on PlayStation Plus, I think, for a bit. I don't know if it still is. Yeah, I think it's been on Epic for free for quite a while actually. I don't use Epic, never have, and don't intend to ever use it either. I think having Steam is enough without having other game launchers. So 29, coming up to 30. I can't remember how much we had in the first load. It was about 48,000, 44,000 when I emptied it. If anybody does know, let me know in chat quickly, because I can't remember. I do estimate roughly how much we got off this film. About 70 odd thousand, close to 80,000 I think. I think I estimated before we got there was about 70,000 off the field. Yeah, I originally it's just over 70,000 in total, so we'll leave it there. I'll go and get this in the silo. But that's me done for this afternoon. Said I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel and you're still watching, then please consider subscribing. I'm going to have some more FS22 content with live streams. So we're usually doing once a week on, currently on Alone in the World, which is usually Thursday evenings around 7:30 UK time. And I've got the Iowa Plains View video and this series, which I'm hoping to kind of wrap up soon, but it's still going to take a while because there's still quite a lot to do. And then possibly we're starting another new series after that, as to which map that's going to be, I don't know yet. And that could possibly run up to the end of FS22. So I'm sure we'll find out more over the coming weeks as to the new game, potentially teaser trailers and stuff like that. And I'm sure there'll be more info at FarmCon, which is coming up early July. So yeah, potentially some more information coming soon. So hopefully we'll see some more. So big thank you for watching again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.